Assalamu alaikum everyone, my name is Khalifa Al Haroon. I'm the head of interactive and innovation at Vodafone Qatar, and I've got in my hands a phone that a lot of people are looking forward to. It is the Samsung Galaxy S4, and it's a really special device because everybody loved the Galaxy S3, and I thought I'd show you a quick look at the device itself, maybe show a quick comparison, and inshallah as well, talk about the difference in specs for you guys, and you can make a decision if you want to grab one or not. By the way, let me just quickly mention up front that you can pre-order this phone on our website. Just go to vodafone.qa and you will be able to pre-order the Samsung Galaxy S4. So, taking a look at the device, as you can see, it still has that same overall design and look and feel of the Galaxy S3 itself. It's a really light handset, it's nice to hold in the hand. It is plastic, although it does have this type of metallic looking edges. Don't quote me on this because I'm not sure if it is metal or not, or just designed to look like metal. But it's got this really nice screen. Let me just quickly touch the home button and you will see that most of the phone itself is taken over by that giant screen. It's almost 5 inches in size and just barely, just a little bit under 5 inches, and it's got that beautiful looking screen that everybody's used to when it comes to high saturation. This has a lot of features, and what they're focusing on isn't just the hardware but also on the software itself, and I'm going to be talking about the top 10 new things maybe that to look forward to the device. Now, if we take a look at the phone itself, let's take a look at the side. That's the volume button. Take a look at the other side. You've got the power button. On the top you've got the headphone jack and then the secondary microphone and IR port. At the back you've got the 13 megapixel camera with flash. You've got the speaker back here, and by the way, it is really loud. And at the bottom you've got the microphone as well as the micro USB port. Now it has a actually clickable button, and you've got 2 soft buttons over here. That's the menu and then that's the back button. And then of course when you touch it, it's got a haptic feedback, so it gives a little vibration so you feel like you're pushing an actual button rather than touching a soft button. So let's take a look at it side by side with the Galaxy S3. As you can see, it's actually a little bit smaller than the S3, but because it's got a bigger screen, to some people it might look bigger, and it's just as thin. So that's great. This is more curved. This has more of a square design to it, and in comparison between the two, the S3 has a 4.8-inch screen and the S4 has a 5-inch screen, as I mentioned. The S3 had 720 by 1280 resolution screen, whereas this is a full HD screen at 1080 by 920. So that's full HD on the screen itself. Now, what else do we talk about? Let's talk about the pixels per inch. Pixels per inch means that the closer the pixels are, the higher quality the image can look, the smoother the icons will appear. The S3 was actually pretty good, and it was at 306 ppi, whereas the Samsung Galaxy S4 is at 441 ppi. So it uses the same Super AMOLED tech screen, which is great. It has great, I think it's kind of oversaturated to an extent, but it does make bright colors look vivid. It also, in comparison to the specs itself, this has a 1.9 quad-core processor in comparison to the 1.4 quad-core in the S3. The S3 had 1 gig, this has 2 gig. The S3 had an 8 megapixel camera, this has a 13 megapixel camera. The S3 had a 2100 milliamp battery, and the S4 has a 2600 milliamp battery. And again, in terms of thickness itself, this was at 8.6 millimeters, and this is at 7.9 millimeters overall. So those are just the quick specs looking at the phone itself. It's really cool, and I'm going to show you some of the features. So first of all, we're going to talk about the fact that the camera is 13 megapixels, and that's pretty impressive. But what's also really cool is that it's got a dual camera photos and recording functionality. So what that means is when you launch the camera application, you can take a video or a photo using the rear camera, as well as have your face, if you're having a video call for example, show up on the corner. So you can actually do 2 things at once. And I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see what your face looked like at the time when you were taking a picture of that guy drinking karak on the Corniche. So the second functionality that I want to show off is the smart scroll or smart pause functionality. And now once you open up a message, anything that has any scrolling involved, it detects whether your eyes are looking at the phone itself. Let's say you're playing a video. As soon as you look away from the video pauses, and as soon as you look let's say if you're looking at the screen and you're on a website, you just need to look at the screen and then tilt it back and forth to move up and down. Personally, I prefer to use what God gave me, and it's called a thumb. The third feature is known as air gesture. And so what that is if you're in a car, you switch on the car mode. And by the way, it's got quite a sensitive looking screen. You switch on the car mode, and then what that does is when you want to answer the phone, rather than picking you up and then swiping to answer or pressing the answer button, all you need to do is wave your hand over the screen and it'll answer the phone for you. That's a pretty cool feature. The next feature that is going to be really impressive is, to a lot of people, especially if you're a traveler, is the S Translator. And what does the S Translator do? First of all, you can pick between a bunch of different languages. You've got Brazilian English, English UK and English US, because we know they are different forms of English, French, German, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Simplified Chinese, and Spanish. And then you either type it in and it'll speak it out for you, and you can have conversations with people. So let's say somebody's speaking to you in Spanish, hold the S Translator, your phone with the S Translator app running to their face, and it will record it and then automatically translate it for you. So that's a pretty cool feature. The next feature that I wanted to show off is something known as S-Health. And now S-Health has a number of things, including a pedometer. So when you're walking, it can count how many steps you've taken. In this case, apparently my goal is 10,000 steps. And that means I need to get up and walk to my car at least 50 times to achieve that 10,000 steps, right? At least if I park far away. And it also calculates the distance and also tells you how many calories you've burnt. So that's a pretty cool feature. The next function that I'm going to talk about is Cinema Photo. And then so what Cinema Photo does is it enables you to take a photo with a moving element to it. And that's similar to an application called Cinemagram that you can download. And that's pretty cool because literally what you do is, that's a screenshot, that's been taken. So literally what you can do is you can have, let's assume that the balloons were moving in a photo. You can have the whole entire photo itself be static and then have the balloons waving or moving in the background. Another really cool feature that I like is the TV remote. And so if you launch the TV remote application, what that allows you to do is to control, guess what, your TV. and and it uses the IR blaster up on top. And so let's quickly launch the TV app. That's what it looks like, and then it tells you this is the location of where you're at, so you can set up different profiles. In this case, in my room, I've got a TV and I've also got an Apple TV, and it changes the remote according to the device that you're trying to control. So it's very convenient. Another really cool feature is something called Group Play. And what Group Play is, let's say you're watching a video or even listening to a song. If everybody has an S4, I guess the goal is for everybody to have an S4 if you've got one too, you just need to tap your phones together and it'll play the same track at the same time. So that's pretty impressive. One of the features that they've got in the camera application itself is something called Eraser Shot. And what Eraser Shot enables you to do is, let's say you're taking a photo of some people and someone's running in the background. What you can do there is you can delete the person in the background that you don't want to have in that photo. And it takes a set of consecutive photos to enable you to delete those, to delete that individual. Maybe you just don't like that person, you just don't want him to be in your photo, right? If you are a business person, a really great and useful application is the Photo Reader or the Optical Reader. And so if you've got a business card or anything with words on it, just snap it with the Optical Reader and it will do its magic. It'll automatically do its magic and detect the words that are on the screen. So that's something that's really cool with Optical Reader. The Story Album function is something that they're also showing off. And what this does, it takes a number of different photos that you have had during your journey around Doha, and it creates a great little album for you, and it takes information based on gallery, by tag information, or even suggestions as well. So it'll create a storybook automatically for you based on your life. So imagine next time you go and you decide you're going to go travel to Dubai or Bahrain, all you need to do is take some photos, take some videos, and launch the Story Album functionality or feature, and it'll do all of the work for you. Another really cool feature is the Sound and Shot feature. So if you launch an application or launch the camera application and decide to take a photo of something, in this case I am very amazed by the plug on the wall. All I need to do is take a photo and it'll record some audio that will embed with the photo itself. So when you share it, let's say via email, people can tap on the image and then they'll be able to hear the audio that you were hearing at the same time that you were taking that photo. That's called sound and shot. Alright everyone, this was the Galaxy S4 and the Galaxy S3. Just a quick look and comparison between the two. I've shared some specs. Everyone, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you haven't been aware, we're also uploading this video in Arabic for you to enjoy. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, let us know what you think, share your feedback. We always want to improve. This was a quick look at the Galaxy S4. We hope you liked the video, and we hope to share some more quick looks at some exclusive devices.